Okay, so the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup is something else that got popularized on TikTok. The Stanley Corporation has been around for like, I don't know, 100 years, 90, 100 years. Their target audience was like blue collar workers, hikers, campers. Their products were meant to keep your whatever you're putting in your cup like hot and cold. Stanley came out with the Quencher H2O Flow State. That's the cup that is incredibly popular right now, but that cup did not do very well when it initially launched. People didn't gravitate towards it, so they kind of discontinued it. But this blog, it's like a trendy blog, popularized that cup, and they asked the Stanley company, hey, you need to bring it back because, you know, our customers, that they want this cup. We mentioned it and people are asking for it. So because it was discontinued, the need didn't meet the demand. It became like this elusive cup that you just could not get your hands on. And then Stanley hired this guy that used to work at Crocs, and he like made Crocs popular again. You know, Crocs were like mainly for old people who worked in their gardens and babies, and they hired this guy, I forget his name, to work for their company to make Crocs popular. And Crocs started collaborating with different stars. You started seeing celebrities out wearing Crocs, and then you started seeing all the kids suddenly wearing Crocs, and Crocs were cool. So they hired that guy, right? The one that made Crocs popular again. They hired that guy to the Stanley Corporation. He started using influencer marketing on TikTok to make the Stanley Quencher H2O Flow State tumblers popular, and it worked. And they also said, like, look, you're missing a huge demographic. There's a huge market of women that you should market to. And that's why they started, you know, using influencer marketing on TikTok. They started designing these cups. I think the cups originally came in like 2 different colors, which like different colors of green or something like that, and maybe gray, I can't remember. But they started making these cups like all these different colors that went with all different types of aesthetics. So they started like making all of these different colors so you can now match your outfit to your Stanley cup. These cups were already going viral, and it started being like this status symbol if you had a Stanley. What really got eyes on it was this woman's car caught fire, and the only thing that survived was her Stanley cup, and it still had ice in it.
Everybody's so concerned about if the Stanley spills, but what about if it melts? It was on a fire yesterday. It still has ice in it.
Well, that went super viral on TikTok. And not only did it go super viral on TikTok, but it caught the attention of the Stanley Corporation. And the man that they had hired for like their marketing and stuff, he got on TikTok and he said, you know, hey, we saw your video. We're going to do this once and we'll never do it again. We're going to replace your car and we're going to replace your Stanley.
Hey Danielle, my name is Terrence Riley. I'm the president of Stanley. And we've all seen your video. Wow, what an ordeal. And we're all really glad you're safe. I've seen a lot of comments that we should send you some Stanleys. Well, we're gonna send you some Stanleys. But there's one more thing. We've never done this before, and we'll probably never do it again, but we'd love to replace your vehicle.
So they got her a brand new car. They also have a video of her driving away in her brand new car, which was pretty awesome. It got people to be like, holy shit, this company is really incredible. So we're going to support and stand Stanley even more. That is until like the Valentine's Day fucking Stanley massacre, which was insane. People were clamoring for these Stanley cups to where they were waiting outside of Target to try and get their hands on these cups. They're chasing after this. They need this cup because now it's become like this status symbol to have a Stanley. This girl fell over. Target limited it to like 2 per person. Dude, they cleared it out so quick. Stanley Cup is a trend. It is 100% a trend. Okay, it's in right now. It's going to be out of trend very soon. And this is honestly, I believe, what's leading to Stanley's downfall. The way people are acting at stores. Do you know what's different about this cup than like the rest of the Stanleys you can find at the store? They come in red, they come in pink, and they have a tiny little heart on them. That's what makes them a Valentine's Day limited edition Stanley. That's it. But not only that, like this stuff has reached ridiculous levels. You can get accessories for your Stanley. Seriously. Just get a bowl. Like, you don't need that. Why would you need that? One, I would never pay $50 for a cup. You don't need that little tiny tray that wraps around your Stanley. Now you can wear it as a purse. Look at that. You can wear it as a purse. Your Stanley cup already keeps your liquids like, you know, cold and warm. You don't need this extra little thing on there. There's another one where you can wear it as a bag, but it has all these pockets. So now it transforms into your purse. You don't need any of that. Look at the straw topper. They make straw toppers for your Stanley straw. This is just all extra accessories that you buy on top of buying your $50 cup. So people are spending upwards of $100 to have their cup and accessorize it. This is insane, okay? Because little kids for Christmas, like, you know, young tweens, wanted Stanley cups for Christmas. You would think that they got like a PS5 for Christmas with the way that they reacted to getting a cup. I don't have a problem with those reactions. I have a problem with why they're having those reactions, because now these Stanley cups are now like a sign of like, you know, popularity. It's a status symbol now if you have a Stanley. And what's insane is that some of these kids are just bringing regular water bottles to school. They probably don't even know what a Stanley cup is because they're not on TikTok. But the ones that are on TikTok, the ones that are influenced by all of these, you know, viral trends, they're bullying these other kids that just have regular water bottles, and they don't want these water bottles anymore. They want a Stanley cup now because they're getting bullied at school all over a cup.
Y'all, for Christmas, I bought my little sister this new water bottle. It's not a Stanley cup, but it keeps the water cold. It gets the job done. And after her first day back on Monday, she told me she's never going to school with that ghetto water bottle again. She basically told me kids were bullying her for not having the Stanley cup, but just peep game and lock in real quick. And when I dropped her off at school on Tuesday, I kind of see where she was coming from. I kid you not, every kid that was getting dropped off had the Stanley cup. So I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and got her the Stanley cups that she was asking for.
And it's really sad that that's where like we've kind of like reached to where these kids are now getting bullied at school because of their Stanley cup.
This is the cup that we got our daughter for Christmas. This is not a Stanley. This is a $9.98 Walmart cup that she said she thought was cute. She is 9 years old. On the second day back to school after Christmas break, she comes home. She's not crying, she's just upset. The girls, all the other girls in her grade, I'm not saying all, maybe she said 9, 10 of them, all got Stanleys for Christmas. And they made sure to let her know that this is not a real Stanley, that this is fake and it's not as cool. So she comes home, she's upset. She asks if she can have a real Stanley. So we went and bought her a 30-ounce Stanley.
It's just a fucking cup. Because these clips are going viral on TikTok, it's starting to become the downfall of Stanley. 7 Target workers were reportedly fired after buying special edition Stanley cups. These Target workers got fired over a Stanley. This lady, she got arrested for stealing $2,500 worth of Stanley cups. This man jumps the counter to steal these cups. They had to call the police because this dude jumped the line to steal this. It really is ridiculous. So now they're not even stocking them anymore. After that happened, after the chaos at Target and, you know, the police had to be called to several different locations, they're just not going to stock them anymore. So now with all of that, right, people are talking about it. People are saying like, stop it. You're putting too much stock in a fucking cup. You need to stop with all of these viral trends. It's coming out that like the Stanley cups have lead in them. And they've said that, yes, it's like industry standard that there's something in these cups in order to like keep them cold or something like that, that they do have lead. They admitted like, yes, there's lead in them, but they're not in the part where like you're drinking out of. It's on the bottom, and you'll only ever like be in contact with the lead if you like break your cup. So it went viral that like, oh my gosh, the Stanleys have lead in them. People started buying lead strips to test their cups for lead. Some of them came out positive, some of them didn't. The Stanley cups are growing mold. So with all of like this bad press, people are throwing away their Stanleys, and it's giving rise to a new cup. A new cup is now on the rise, but people are honestly just fed up with Stanley now, and it's just become like the downfall of the Stanley Cup. People are saying that like all of this is ridiculous, all of this over a cup. With the fall of the Stanley is like the rise of another cup. I think the Stanley Cup is on its way out. Thankfully, because I don't ever want to have to talk about the Stanley Cup ever again. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments down below what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. Bye everyone.